My name is Phil Wyluck, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit before you go too far into watching our hands-on tactics videos, which you may have already seen. I wanted you to just watch this first and lay out a little bit of the context and methodology of how we teach. So many martial arts and all martial arts are going to bring something to the table and show moves and techniques and ways to do things. And we have our ways of doing things as well. But what I want to talk about is the difference between what else we're going to bring to the table that most aren't. And that is that almost every altercation, almost every situation you're going to find yourselves in where you go hands-on is going to start with communication. So everything has to be in the context of communicating. There's communication drills, communication things that we do, nonverbal and verbal are highly important to everything that we do. Just learning moves is not enough. You have to be able to communicate through and understand what you're doing that could be escalating or de-escalating the situation. So communication is a huge factor. Concepts and objectives is another big one. So we have a variety of concepts and a variety of objectives that we want to make sure that we're working you through so you understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. So a couple of those are things like this. I want to always face the threat and I never want the threat facing me if possible. So when I'm facing a threat, I want to get that threat turned away from me, because when I get a threat turned away from me, it's much harder for that threat to hurt me. Another concept that we like to talk about is obtaining a position of advantage and then maintaining it. So once I move to a position of advantage, which is what I'm going to go for right away and always be going for, once I obtain that position of advantage, I'm going to maintain that position. And I'm not going to let it be a fair fight. I'm not going to let you turn back to me. I'm not going to let you get the best of me. I'm going to impose my will on you. Now, that doesn't mean I have to hurt you. These can be soft skills. That doesn't mean I have to beat you or choke you or do anything like that. I can restrain you. There's lots of different things I can do. There's all kinds of ways that I can do what I do, but the concepts and the objectives are very important. Now, another thing we want to talk about when we get into this is whether to engage or disengage, or basically entangle or unentangle. So I come from a very strong grappling background, black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, trained in Judo, Aikido, all kinds of other systems as well, kickboxing and a variety of other things. But what's different in the raw combat system that we teach is that not everything is just a one-size-fits-all, take the guy down, entangle yourself, and try to submit the person or try to arrest the person. Sometimes, for many reasons, other dynamics and things that are around, it's often good to disengage, because maybe then I can use my tools, maybe then I can move, I can get to a safer place, I can do whatever I need to do. I can come in as a team, I can wait for backup, I can do a variety of different things. Sometimes taking a knife from someone or versus shoving them away to make space is a decision that it's not a one-size-fits-all. You know, everybody wants to roll around and everybody wants to entangle with people, but that also removes your situational awareness. It makes you very vulnerable to other people who may be around, people who may be with that person, all sorts of other dynamics based on what's going on around you. So taking people down and rolling around and ground fighting all the time is not always necessarily the best thing to do. Do we teach ground fighting? Absolutely. But we have a different objective. Ground fighting for us is if you end up on the ground in a bad position, you need to know how to fight on the ground so you can get back up. But anytime I'm taking someone to the ground, I want them on the ground, but I don't want to be entangled on the bottom of the ground. So I may want to be in a top position where I'm kneeling down, where I can use my hands, I can do what I need to do, I can arrest them, I can control them, I can sit them up, I can do whatever I need to do, but I still can look around, I can still disengage and get up. That's very important. A lot of people don't think about that. It's a one-size-fits-all. It's either stand and fight or it's either roll around on the ground, but there's more to it than that. There's more ways to do it than that. And that's what we're going to bring to the table, is to show you that there's all these other dynamics, all these other things that we need to consider. Now I'm going to make another video right after this one that's going to talk about two different triads, and these triads are a big part of what we teach. And it's highly important that we teach you this material before we get into the hands-on, because the hands-on is all based on these mentalities and methodologies and concepts that we teach. Okay, we teach risk management, threat management, crisis management. We're always trying to manage our risk and mitigate and try to not end up hands-on with someone, because hands-on with someone is threat management. That's where we have to go hands-on with somebody, but that's a threat. Crisis management is now you found yourself in a position where you could die quickly if you don't do something about it. But that's a continuum, and we need to manage those things, and we need to learn what those things are. And there's a lot of different aspects of what we're going to teach that isn't just, here's another move. If the guy does this, do this. If the guy does that, do this. There's a lot more to a comprehensive approach to self-protection and personal safety than just learning moves. Okay, everyone's got moves, but there's a whole lot more to it if you really want to be functioning in a true self-protection manner where you're aware of your personal space, you're aware of your personal safety and your team, and you know how to communicate, how to move, and what to do. So that's what we're going to bring to the table with this course for law enforcement called Police Safe. All right? Thank you.